Welcome to another modded Minecraft build showcase. Today I'll be looking over my oil plant that I did a while back ago. It's using the mods Immersive Petroleum, which if you're not familiar, that's an add-on to Immersive Engineering. It adds all sorts of options for processing oil. We're using pneumatic craft stuff here, which is like a pressure-based technology mod. And we've got a lot of cool decorations mods, which we'll talk about when we get there as well. And additionally, we're going to have some more information on the mod pack that's playing on. I know I was talking about it earlier with the last build video I did, but we got some cool details, so go ahead and stick around to the end if you're interested in that. But otherwise, let's get right on into the build overview. So the first thing you're going to really see if you find this place out exploring or anything is the entrance here, and that's going to take you into our little packaging yard. We used tech guns crates, in addition to some chiseled block of lead, block of iron, sort of thing. And we also have some crates of wood, as well as we also used drums from X Utility 2s with different fluids that are from the tank over there, and also just metal barrels from Immersive Engineering there too. I guess we can go ahead and take a look at this first. This is kind of like the office area. We haven't decorated too much on the inside. It's where we have our ME system access and such. So come in there. I kind of modeled off of like if you look at a quarry or any type of I guess excavation project, they usually have like a portable building office area, and I kind of wanted to emulate that look for this with like the aluminum. This is actually iron, but it looks kind of like aluminum sheeting and everything. Yeah, not too much to it. I actually had to disable the ME access because for some reason the ME system would go offline if like something wasn't chunk loaded, even though this area was chunk loaded. I don't know. Over here is where we store the fluid. We got oil, the first one, and by the way, we're using dynamic tanks from Mechanism, so the whole structure is kind of like encased within it, but otherwise, yeah, it's got a huge buffer of oil. Got lots of pump jacks we'll take a look at soon. Diesel is supposed to go here, but we're actually using diesel up so fast, it just does not get any time to be stored. Right here is gasoline, which we're making a lot of gasoline. In fact, we're at a huge surplus. We usually have to end up voiding some of it in order for the whole system to work because it'll like get jammed on gasoline. So, and we also have lubricant in here, which is another product. Yeah, so this is only really going to be used for speeding up our pump jacks, which are pumping oil out of the ground for us, and also for pneumatic craft speed upgrades. The lubricant made from Immersive Petroleum is compatible with the pneumatic craft lubricant, so just in case you guys ever want to use that. Guess we can go ahead and take a look at the other side. I want to show you where the products get made. These are the distillation tower multi-blocks from Immersive Petroleum. They'll take oil, and every, I think 5 ticks, they'll convert 75 millibuckets of oil into some, I think it makes gasoline the most of it, but it splits it into lubricant, diesel, and gasoline using some energy. And I got and also make a bitumen for as a byproduct, which in the mod pack we have as a custom recipe where it can be used to make a little bit of oil after you're done, since it's not really used for much. You can't sustain a process on just using bitumen processing, but it's a nice recyclable thing. We have 6 of these towers with and these are just smoker blocks from Railcraft. They don't actually emit smoke or anything normally. I guess we can go ahead and take a look at the insides now. So we have a cool elevator from the mod Thuts elevators. Those are going to be controlled by this little controller here. So very smooth operation. It slows down as we reach the top. Go ahead and walk in. Here's the main building. So inside we have some of our pneumatic craft. There's a pressure chamber. Unfortunately, I'm not super familiar with pneumatic craft. It's actually my friend who did a lot of this. So I will probably end up learning it at some point. Down here is where we can make biodiesel, because we can run our generators on both biodiesel and regular diesel. So we're going to be converting our hemp seeds, our regular seeds like wheat seeds, and we have rice seeds from Actually Dishes, which we added to the list all seed with Craft Tweaker. And those are going to be made making into seed oil, and they'll make ethanol with sugarcane. And we also can use melon, and apples, which we haven't had to use since we're making so much sugarcane, but we have lots of backup sources. And those are combined into the refineries to make biodiesel. Right now we're at a deficit for plant oil for whatever reason. I guess we're just making more ethanol right now. But honestly, we don't need the extra biodiesel. We could run off of just diesel. There isn't too much in here. You can go to the back. You can see the extra additional tanks. Right here is where we make LPG, which is a kind of like a refined version of gasoline from pneumatic craft. It's a much more efficient fuel. It makes more energy and it burns for longer, and the dynamos. So here's what it all is. We have additional tanks back here. We have plastic from pneumatic craft stored in here. We have LPG, which is kind of looks a little bit like lemonade, if you're a fan of older Yogscast. And we have a huge amount of LPG in there as well. And we're also storing biodiesel in here, but we only have a ton of biodiesel stored up already. So here is our diesel generators from Immersive Engineering. We have 8 of them, and they kind of just run as they need to. Right now we're full on power at home base, so they don't run for super long. As you can see here, they have a mix of biodiesel and regular diesel coming into them. They can use whatever one they wish. And then right here we have our LPG spires. These are compression dynamos running off of LPG. And we also have to put this Faraday suit on because we have these Tesla coils, which will hurt. They redid the way power works in Immersive Engineering, and high voltage wiring will almost kill you if you walk into it, so you have to wear this. That way we don't, die as we try to approach it. But these things are making 480 RF per tick. They're definitely nothing to slouch at, especially since we have so many of them. And the fact that the LPG is really easy to make for us. We're not really running out of power at all. It's a huge surplus of power now with these things. So that's all like the nice looking stuff. I'll go ahead and show like the nitty-gritty of the wiring now. So underneath these tanks here, I guess I forgot to put my ender suit back on. Whoops, there we go. Let's head back over here. There we are. So underneath here is kind of a subterranean network of pipes that we're using to kind of direct the products back here. So hidden door here. Yeah, it's quite a mess. So we have oil arriving into the tank here from our our pump jacks over there. We also have a quantum entangle porter right here that's also exporting all of the oil that we're collecting, because we have quite a bit of oil and this fluid pipe will not carry all of it. And so the oil from here gets directed down into a fluid pipe and it's being sped up here, and that's going to go all the way across the oil plant here. Stuck on something. There we are. And it's going to head over here, and it's going to go into the distillation towers, where the bitumen gets processed here in an industrial squeezer we have set up underneath here. And then once it's finished, it's going to get piped all through one pipe, because the distillation towers do not have like 3 separate outputs for the different products. They all just go into one, so the fluid pipe just handles all of it because it doesn't have an internal buffer. It can just selectively do which one it needs to do. And so it's being sped up quite a bit here, and it goes back across until it gets split into the 3 respective products using super laminar fluid ducts with filters on them, and they'll go to their respective tanks. And then the diesel will be transported over to the diesel generators along with the biodiesel coming from the other side. And yeah, it's messy, but it works just great. And underneath the building we have our refinery stuff here. We can see ender chests taking the seeds over to the crushers, and then we have another ender chest exporting the ethanol products, and then the ethanol and the seed oil get combined into the refinery, and then the biodiesel gets transported over to the tank. But yeah, that is pretty much this. If you guys are still interested, I'm going to be talking about the Modpack next, but otherwise, thanks for watching. So if you're watching this, I assume you're interested in playing the Modpack alongside us, and we're pretty excited about that. So if you're not familiar with it already, we're naming the Modpack Quantum Industries 2. It's a successor to the Modpack we played on last summer. That was more private, and we're wanting to get some more people to play with us, so I'm opening the call up to you guys. So the way it's going to work is we're going to have a Google form in the description of this video, and if you're interested, you could fill that out, and that way we can kind of get an application from you. Unfortunately, we can't offer everyone that watches this video the chance to play on the server with us, but we're going to try to get as many people as possible in on the server. The Modpack itself is pretty much kind of a kitchen sink a little bit. It's a little more focused on technology, because we're going to have advanced rocketry progression, and so we're going to custom planets and such. And we also have a lot of craft tweaker stuff that's intended to balance a lot of the features of the game. We have a full change log and mod list available in the description as well that we're going to be updating with all of the features going forward to the final version. And the other thing too is the pack is not quite final yet. We're going through and we're kind of like figuring out what's going to be in the final version of it, and we can probably expect a final version of the pack probably the next 1 or 2 weeks. And when I say final, I mean like the 1.0. We're still gonna like update and everything, but that's like what we're gonna kind of pitch it as. But otherwise, if you guys are interested in playing alongside us, I highly encourage you guys to fill out that Google form so we can get as many applications in, and hopefully we can accept all of you as much as possible. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.